We got some breaking news that the Trump administration is trying to introduce $100,000 fees for the H-1Bs. $100,000 is what he did. It's come from a very authentic source. Normally, immigration leaks come mainly from Bloomberg, whichever normally, and it has been stated that we may get something today itself. That Trump may sign today itself $100,000 fees for H-1B. Stephen, do we have an idea it's going to be only applicable for the new quota or for change of employer or change of status or entry into United States? Do we have any idea on that at this point of time?
So yeah, just to back up, like you said, we don't have the text. A Bloomberg article came out within the last half hour about this fee. What the article says is that they spoke to a White House official that is familiar with the matter, and Bloomberg's a trusted source. It's something that they were given this information. Now, whether they're going to actually do it or not, or they're just testing the waters, I don't know. But we only know what's in the Bloomberg article. Every other news site that I've seen talk about this is citing to the Bloomberg article. And so this is what it says to answer your question about who it's going to apply to. It says in the article, the proclamation restricts entry under the H-1B program unless accompanied by the payment. And so the way I would read that is, we're sort of looking at an entry ban. We've had that before under the first Trump administration. In COVID, he did the H-1B and L-1 entry ban. But I guess maybe you can get out of being banned with this $100,000 fee. Now, what we don't know, is it going to be $100,000 per company, $100,000 per individual? Is it every time? I don't know. Well, we're going to keep up with this, but it is a real article. It's not just WhatsApp and Telegram rumors.
And Stephen, what are the authorities? Especially, I'm a bit concerned about the entry into United States and visa stampings, though. That's where the president has more authority, though. So what do you think what are the challenges we can do in the court, though, these kind of things?
Yeah, so, the typical authority for fees for immigration is to tie it towards the cost of adjudication. Okay. That is how the INA is written. It's not a penalty type system. Now, I think there are ways they could certainly try it, if they want to try it to an entry ban and say, well, everybody's banned. And then if, you want to get out of it, you pay the 100,000, maybe. I don't think 212F permits that, but I could be wrong. It would be a new kind of theory for them. So we're going to see how this plays out, but I do expect this to be litigated. I know it's already seeing it being discussed with a bunch of litigators. It's not going to be something.
Well, you are a litigator.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's being discussed with others in emails and texts. So we'll see.
Okay. So typically, if they do it, though, how fast they will implement it? It looks like it may be coming as a memo right now, or it may be an executive order form. I think so. It may be coming in the executive form, or is what I'm thinking about.
Agree. Yeah, again, the article says that it is going to be a presidential proclamation. I have the White House pages up and keep refreshing it every 5 minutes to see if we get any details. And so in terms of implementation, it could be a couple different ways. We saw with the original Muslim ban in 2017, it said anybody not in before this date is subject to this. Same thing with the H1 and L1 ban during COVID. It was anybody who's not in before this date, and there was kind of like a few days people could come in, assuming they had their visa. Um, but it could be that, hey, starting at midnight tonight, we're implementing this. We again, we don't have the details yet, but you're in a bunch of groups: WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram. I'm in a bunch of them, Reddit, and all too, and so and X, and I saw everybody doing it, so we thought, hey, let's put this out there as a video and let people know this is a real article that is out there. It is Bloomberg. It's also on, Reuters picked it up, U.S. News and World Report. It's all citing to the Reuters article. So there's some truth to this. Now, let's see. There were times, Rahul, if you go back to 2017, 2018, that it was, we're going to do this.
Mhm.
And then everybody freaked out and said, you can't do that. This is blah, 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 blah. This is why you can't do that. And then it never happened, right?
Mhm.
Um, so this is what I want to tell people. Stay tuned, stay informed, right? Once we have details, we'll do another live. I've got a couple events this weekend, but I'm not against going live this weekend outside of when I'm coaching. If we see something, we'll go for it.
So let's speak about that. If the presidential order comes today, that's where seems to be that it is trending to, based on the news, though. So could most probably, it could be that anybody who's entering into United States will definitely may be affected immediately. We don't know. Because they did the visa fees, everybody who's entering into United States, even on the visa waiver program, also they did that. We have seen it could be affecting the cap. It may be only affecting the cap subject people who are going through the cap. A question is coming: what about non-cap people? Where people filing for the change of employer, do they still need to pay 100,000 every time you change the employer? Do you need to do it every time you amend it? Do you need to pay $100,000 every time you change the employer, amend it, extend it? What about the situations where people are moving from H4 to H-1B? Is that going to be applicable also when they're doing it? And does it $100,000 includes the existing fees, or it's in addition to the existing fees?
So couple thoughts. I don't know about the non-cap. Definitely could be something different there. The going from H4 to H1, if you think about the public law fee for large companies with a large percentage of H-1B workers, that is a entry fee under the statute, but it's been interpreted for changes of status and for transfers. Now, again, a little bit different, I think, but we don't know. We got to wait to see what comes in the actual language.
And there were some court cases that you challenged on fee structures, Stephen. I remember that.
Mhm.
Uh, what was the things where you challenged the USCIS on fees increase? I remember a long time
There's
ago.
plenty of litigation that's been done on fees in terms of the fee regulations that have been out. So it's not uncommon. And this is a little bit different, I think, in terms of it's not, it's one thing to challenge regulations that they don't follow how things should go. This is an executive order that I'm not sure has much basis. Brittany asked us on YouTube, Rahul, if we're attorneys or YouTubers, we come live in minutes. Yeah, just set aside the case you're working on and pick it back up. It's a unique skill set I think we have.
Yeah, it takes 5 minutes for us to get into live. We also want to inform. We get a lot of queries from different clients. Instead of facing them, we sometimes want to just resolve those issues with the YouTube. That definitely a lot of it addresses to our clients. It also addresses to our base, Brittany. This is no, we're not YouTubers. We don't get any money
I
from
wish.
YouTube. Our audiences are only strictly only for H-1Bs, and this is also our bread and butter. Don't forget that, Brittany, that this is what we do. Does the company has to pay it? Does the employer has to pay it? We have any idea on it?
We don't know. There's, by law, there or by regulation, most a good portion of the H-1B fees can't be paid by the employee. But that's done through regulation with Department of Labor, and so we will see what the language has to say when it comes out. If it comes out, again, I'm not discrediting Bloomberg. I absolutely know Bloomberg. I've talked to plenty of Bloomberg reporters that if they got this and they published it, it is vetted, it is sourced. I have one that I talk to quite often that won't even take my screenshots. He wants to see the actual court document for his editors. So I know they have a very valid source on this. But as I said, we also saw plenty of times in the first Trump administration him saying, I'm going to do X. Everybody freaks out. And then X never happens. I don't know if that's the case here, but it wouldn't be unheard of.
A question from Zaraf is asking the question, is this going to be applicable to existing H-1B holders? We don't know. We don't know if it's going to be only for quota. We don't know if it's going to apply for the existing holders, or we don't know if this is going to be only applied when you apply for the visa stamping outside the country, or is it going to be only applicable to the persons who are entering into the United States on H-1B? We have seen recently that there has been a fees increase, especially for where there has been a fees for everybody who is coming into United States, even on the visa waiver program. But definitely 100,000 is a very huge fees for anybody to pay to come or to apply for the H-1B. Now, Stephen, what are the probabilities? I mean, if this is going to be implemented only on the new quota, then could it be that only the big companies can apply in the new quota that want to pay $100,000 on an employee?
I mean,
Because
that's a
that's
lot. I mean, that's a lot. I don't even know how much those big companies would pay. And so it could lead to more offshoring as well. I mean, how much, are you going to want to pay on top of the salaries for 100 extra thousand? That's a lot. For some, something that we're continuing to see a chilling effect on the legal immigration marketplace. We see what happened in Georgia, where people had authorization to do what they do and they get arrested. Trump says this week, like, oh, yeah, we want to encourage people to come here and da-da-da-da-da. And then this, right? So, at what point do you see companies just stop investing?
Stephen, when the $2,000 fees went up, though, from almost $150 to $600, it went up. From $600, it went 2,000 some, and then almost like $5,000 to $6,000, including the premium process. It's going to cost a lot of money right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have $4,000 fees for some companies plus $2,000. So, what do you think? So, if 100,000, how many people, how many employees, or how many employers are willing to pay that money?
I don't know. I truly don't know. I think even when we talk about the cream of the crop, you're looking over on top of, for a decent sized company, what you're paying about $3,000 plus premium, plus, attorney's fees, now another $100K. That's a lot, Rahul. I mean, for any business to have as overhead.
Yeah, the last time they went up with a $4,000 fees for the companies that has more than 50 employees, out of which more than 50, if they have more than 50% of the employees are on H-1B or L-1, there's a $4,000 fees that went up in 2010, approximately 15 years ago. So could they do it only on the companies that have more than 50% of their employees on H-1B and L-1, or could they implement across the board?
I mean, to be honest with you, Rahul, I don't know their legal authority at all for this. We'll see what they say and they pretend is their legal authority in the proclamation, but immigration fees in the INA are done to pay for the costs of adjudication. That's part of the litigation right now on the most recent fee regulation, is that in the fee regulation that went out under Joe Biden, companies and EB-5 are also subsidizing asylum with the asylum fee, right? and there's litigation on that. And so um, I don't know their authority for this, but we'll see.
Is there any reaction at this point of time from the Fortune 500 companies yet, though? I know this
I
news
haven't
that came out
seen
on.
any yet. I mean, this has been out within the hour. I'm sure most are kind of waiting to see what it actually says, and go from there.
Trump is labeling this as a security threat, though. What legal basis he has for that, saying that it's a security threat?
I don't know. I don't know. Again, that's in the Bloomberg article. That's kind of, I'm curious, who's really behind a big part of this, because Trump, look, he's had his issues with the H-1B program and believes it need to be reformed, but um, this is not something I would that's kind of in line with it. Yeah, somebody mentioned some stocks went down on big companies.
Oh, right now? Okay.
Yeah, someone
So
mentioned it.
what about why is Trump going? What is, I mean, he's supposed, because last time the $4,000 fees went through the Congress, though.
Correct.
Uh, and this one that he's planning to do it with the executive authority. Any idea, vague idea, why he's not going to Congress?
I don't know. Oh, why is he not stapling green cards on diplomas? That's what he said, right? Back in October or September, and everybody's like, "Oh, good. We can kind of relax the next 4 years." But again, I want to be very clear. I do not, looking at the INA very broadly, I can see some mechanisms they could try to justify this that I do not think survive.
1 second.
But I think one thing, let me ask you, Rahul. I mean, we've seen, in the age, since COVID, more companies being okay with remote work or working abroad or working in other states. I mean, could you see this being a reverse migration trend where people move back to their home countries and run, operate from there?
Yeah, this is a good thing, especially if it's $100,000 fees, though. I don't think so many people will be able to afford it. The companies probably will invest that amount of money on the infrastructure development in back home in India, where they don't have to go through this $100,000 hiring process, where they can hire more people there and get the work done in outside the country. Probably the companies will do that. The other thing is I'm more concerned, even let's assume that they put it only on the new quota, Stephen. Let's say company X, oh, well, not X, X is the company now, company A, and wants to hire Stephen Brown, and I am the company A, and I'm hiring Stephen Brown. I put $100,000. There's no guarantee you're going to work with me. What if you leave after 2 months after coming into the United States?
Yeah,
Because
I agree. I mean, I think exactly your point. And then when you think of things like AC-21 that was designed to increase portability so workers could move around more freely. I mean, companies, which is great. People should be able to. I can leave, go search for new jobs. Well, everybody should have that freedom. So, but we'll see. Again, we don't know what the rules are on this.
I think so that with the way that the Trump administration is behaving, though, the companies need to have alternative plans other than United States, though. Because if they are going to focus only on United States and the legalities that they want to go through, these kind of unevenness, the companies cannot bear it if it comes suddenly, though. If it at least if they give the option, okay, we're going to implement it 1 year, 2 years down the line, the companies will start moving their jobs out of the country easily, though. If they do it immediately, then there will be a lot of disruption of the work though. So definitely this will give an idea to a lot of companies to move out of United States. Trump is not helping United States. He's going to be harming United States by putting this $100,000 fees. What
Yeah,
do you say,
I
Steve?
agree. That agree.
Anything else, Steven, that you want to comment
No,
on?
just stay tuned. I'm gonna, Rahul and I were talking right before we went live. I don't have too much going on this weekend that I can't get on live. I got to coach a little youth football and picture day Sunday, but outside of that, I'll try to keep up with the news on my social media account, our firm's social media account, and if we get a copy of the proclamation, we may not be able to go live right away, but we'll try to go live this weekend if we can. So just stay tuned if we get anything and keep an eye out.
Well, I'm more easily accessible. I'm an empty nester as compared to Steven, who has four
You're not
cute
coming to
children.
watch first, second grade football this weekend, and little tackle football.
For cute children that he needs to handle. Especially needs to give a break to his wife. But yeah, stay tuned. If there is any development, we are going to come and we are going to inform more. Also, please subscribe to our news channel. Please press like and subscribe, and also look in subscribe to our newsletter, which is also given link. And we do have also Zoom calls every single day for you guys to ask questions. But this is the developing story at this point of time. It's not yet done. This comes from a very good source of Bloomberg, which has been a very vital source for a long period of time for immigration leaks. So the administration sometimes leaks this information to test the waters to see how people are reacting. Um, and this probably is what one is a reaction that is immediately going on. So let's see how the things go on. Please keep tuned on this topic. Stuart,
Thank you, everybody.
thank you.